It's now been 3 days since a powerful tornado destroyed parts of Moore, Oklahoma, killing 24 and injuring hundreds of others. And as we're hearing more about the victims, tonight we introduce you to one local family who is counting their blessings that they were spared after an amazing twist of fate.
I was really worried about you, Lyd. Really glad you're safe.
An emotional and relieved Savvy Schmidt talking from Ashland to her 14-year-old daughter Lydia in Oklahoma over Skype.
It's just devastating, like seeing more destroyed and just seeing it all flattened. It's kind of scary.
The Oregon-born mother of two had been living near Moore, Oklahoma for the past 13 years, but just over a week ago, she flew to the Rogue Valley so family could meet her newborn daughter.
I feel like we dodged a bullet again.
Thankful that she and her baby were safe, but frantic about her 14-year-old daughter who was finishing out junior high in Moore, directly in the twister's path.
From the time my boyfriend called me, he was frantic and said, "Call Lydia, make sure she's okay. There's a huge tornado in Moore," and I knew that's where her dad lives. And there was that panic moment where I didn't know.
The EF4 tornado seared through the community of Moore, taking aim with 200-mile-per-hour winds, flattening communities and crushing schools in its wake.
I feel bad for those kids at school, and my granddaughter's school was hit.
But what some might call a guardian angel was looking over them. Lydia's stepmother had the foresight to take her out of school to a storm shelter.
She's getting a bouquet of flowers for me. Thank you. They would have put those kids in that gym, and she must have gotten some divine mother's instinct to take them out of school that day.
And while this mother is grateful, she also feels a sense of helplessness with her child thousands of miles away.
I was just grateful she was alive, thinking of all the other schools that got hit and children that are still being found. It's just terrifying.
And it's not this family's first dance with the twister's terror. Savvy lived through the 1999 EF5 tornado that leveled parts of Oklahoma, and that time she was 8 months pregnant with Lydia.
We're sitting there watching birds fall out of the sky and lightning and chunks of insulation and grass and dirt flying around, and it came really close.
It was just like a war zone. Cars aren't supposed to be in trees, houses aren't supposed to be piles of rubble, and it's just like it was a kind of reliving it.
And while this mother says she has been dealing with bouts of survivor's guilt, she says there is something very healing about the idea of her daughter joining them in Ashland very soon.
It feels like paradise to be here in Southern Oregon, especially in the wake of the tornadoes in Oklahoma. And being around family, there's no place I'd rather be.
Nothing like being with family, and no place like home.
I love you, sweetie pie.
Love you too.
Well, the rest of Lydia's school year was canceled. She will be coming to spend the summer in Ashland. Meanwhile, Savvy says her family has led a charmed life when it comes to twisters, and she doesn't want to tempt fate anymore. She's hoping to move the entire family to Southern Oregon very soon.
Amazing story there. Really.
It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charmed life for all those folks.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, let's talk about some weather.